You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video. Hello everyone, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming at you with a new Let's Play series for Dawn Course. We are going right to Jorgen. I've skipped ahead to where we meet him first in the cafeteria, and I'm just gonna go ahead and pursue this interesting bat further. I am curious to know more about him. He's very soft-spoken. He's very he's very introverted. Yep, he's very introverted. And, hell, let's see if we can crack that shall we? But anyway, guys, sit back and enjoy my entertaining for the next 20 minutes, and let's jump right into it. Alright. And this was just after Klaus entered the room. Okay. After him, another person enters the room. A bat, rather short, wearing a poncho and a scarf. Oh, why my delivery on that one was off. Okay, let me try that again. A bat, rather short, wearing a poncho and a scarf. A rather unusual look, but somehow it works on them. I don't think I've seen anyone wearing a poncho in Norway yet. But now that I think of it, they should work very well here in this climate. They look around the cafeteria, searching for something or someone else. They finally see us and start walking in our direction. Lake! Sorry. Lake says his own name. Jorgen, come over here. We're already eating. Huh. So that's the roommate he was talking about. He seems like an artsy type, not someone who I normally would associate with Lake. Jorgen joins us in silence, sitting down and pouring himself some juice from a pitcher. Try some stew. It's really good. Wait, I'll just put some on your plate, too. Lake does as he says, while Jorgen is sipping on his juice. What a weird pair. Two complete opposites. An extroverted volcano of energy and a stoic introvert. Finished. Finished everything you had to do? I wouldn't be here otherwise, would I? Yes. Hi. I'm Carvin. You're a friend of Lake, yes? I think you could say that, yes. Good meeting you, then. Likewise. His expression definitely doesn't say so. Well, I tried. I started stuffing myself with the stew, in tune to the other conversation happening at our table. A traditional lunch in Norway is much more modest, but it's nice to have something like this from time to time. What do you normally eat for lunch, then? We usually just have 2 or 3 open sandwiches with hummus or something else, but it's always plain. I don't know Rune and he doesn't know me, but if I ever want to even talk with him, this is the best chance I have. On the other part, I was already discussing something with Lake. I hope he won't mind. Let's keep talking to Lake. Sorry, dear boy, you're in another playthrough. No, Lake saved me a seat because he wanted to talk to me, and I won't let him down. Oh, yeah, before we were interrupted, he asked me about that photograph. Oh, Lake, you asked me about the photo. You want to see it? Lake swallows and puts down the cutlery. Sure, show me. I don't think I've ever seen any of your photos before. Showing my photographies is something I had to learn. Initially, I didn't want to show my photos to anyone, but I had to build up some confidence, and what was even harder become open to critique. It did hurt when others were telling me that my photos suck, but at least they were also telling me why they suck. Without feedback, I would never get better. And I'm glad I did. When I look back at my photos from a few years ago, the difference in skill is obvious. Even back then, I managed to get some good shots, but over time, as my skills improved, so did the ratio of good ones to bad ones. I open the bag, take the instant photo out, and put it on the table. Maybe it's nothing special, but I like it. I wanted to convey a certain mood, and I think I was successful at that. I still imagine Lake standing there, at the edge of the forest, but of course I won't tell him that. Lake twists his maned head to one side and then to the other, looking at the photo from different angles as if trying to solve a puzzle. It's nice, but I don't see much here. Well, to be frank, there's not much there. Just the view from the window in my room. I wanted to capture it. It's like having a physical copy of a memory, that way. Don't try to look for anything specific, but rather zoom out and look at the whole picture. It has a strong vibe to it, yes. Ominous. Lake observes the photo closely with his paw under his chin, sort of like that sculpture, The Thinker. Somehow this doesn't suit him at all. Jorgen leans in from the opposite side of the table too, his face finally showing something else than boredom. That's an instant photo? I haven't seen those in a while. Yeah, I have an instant camera with me. I think it's my favorite type. I love the immediacy that comes with it. Do you have any of their photos with you? I'd like to see more. No, but I have more in my room. Yeah, you can drop by later if you want. Meanwhile, Coach finished eating and stood up, grunting to get everyone's attention. Attention, everyone! I have a few important things to say. The cafeteria goes silent in an instant. Everyone turns in Coach's direction, who is standing next to his seat. Welcome to the first day of our winter science camp. Ahead of us is a week full of activities. Oh, hold up. Ahead of us is a week full of activities, lectures, and practical classes, and some leisure time as well. For now, we'll let you rest. After lunch, you're free to do whatever you please. Today's for integration and fun. Devin takes a note out of his pocket and starts reading from it. Dinner is at 16 o'clock here in the cafeteria. This evening, if the weather allows, those who signed up for it will be observing stars from the terrace. All the guest house's facilities are at your disposal. This includes a swimming pool, a sauna, and a common space with a snooker table. There's a sauna here? A small one for me. Please remember that tomorrow we're meeting at the entrance at 7:45 for a trip to the town. Don't be late. Breakfast is served at 7 o'clock. Devin folds the paper back and hides it in his pocket, looking around the room at all the students. You're all adults, so you're free to leave the guest house. Just please, don't do anything stupid. It'll be us teachers who'd have to handle that. If you need anything, you can find me in room number 2. In case there's an emergency, I am your first person to contact. I see that most of you have finished already. That's all for now. You're free to go. Coach sits down again, turning towards Rune. I'm gonna hit the pool soon, but I need some rest first after that lunch. Okay, sure. I'll join you in there in a while. Just what is it between those two? Leaving the speculations for later, I get up, having finished my food. Sex. That's what it is. Okay, Lake, see you in a while. And remember to drop by my room when you have some time. I don't have many photos with me. I'll have to think of something. Maybe I'll talk him into letting me take a photo of him. I'm really looking forward to that. Even though we've known each other for some time already, we don't hang out often. Studying in a university is much more time-consuming than I thought it would be. Sure, take care. I grab a sunshine bun from the plate and take a bite, holding it through the paper. It's so good. I let out a pleasured sigh. Giving Lake a pat on the shoulder, I start walking out the cafeteria and towards my room. I bump into a few students on my way out of the cafeteria, but thankfully the bun didn't take any damage. Leaving the crowded room, I catch myself humming a melody. I haven't been in such a good mood in a long while. I've got every reason to be. The air here is clean and pleasant, even inside the guest house. I have nothing to worry about. No classes, no assignments, no groceries or cleaning to be done. It's so peaceful here, and I feel this strange energy building up inside me, excitement for the coming time that threatens to explode. I'm free. I have nowhere to hurry, and at the same time, there's so much I want to do. And we have the whole camp ahead of us. I already can't wait to walk around the forest here, take some photos, and hop into the sauna afterwards. Maybe I'd talk Lake into going with me. I like that lion, and he seems to like me as well. Can I call him my close friend yet? Walking through the glazed part of the wood corridor, I see the same panorama of the mountains as from my room. I can't get enough of this view. The shrouded peaks covered in snow, barren and raw. The forest undulating in the wind. The falling snow, pearly white and gleaming. Beautiful, isn't it? Why, yes you are, Miko. I yelp, startled. I got completely lost in my thoughts. I did not hear the footsteps behind me. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. I saw you standing here and daydreaming. What's up? Just thinking about how great it is to be here now. It's good to change the scenery from time to time. Miko walks up to the window and stands beside me. His arm almost brushes against mine, but he doesn't move further away, his gaze focused on the view before us. But then, his tail touches mine for a brief moment before he sways it to the other side. Looks like he's still hesitant to initiate physical contact, or maybe he's unsure if I would be okay with it. I move a bit closer to him so that our arms touch. He's shorter than me by a head, so we can't bump shoulders, but I hope he understands the gesture. A subtle smile appears on his snout. I brush my tail against his, and he doesn't shy away, keeping close to me. Hey, good to see you getting along so well. Suddenly someone approaches us from behind and pats our backs unceremoniously. Oh, it's Travis. Okay, never mind. I thought it was Bjorn. Travis, hey there! It's a Tanuki shorter than Miko, with a lively gleam in his eyes. Hello. Do we know each other? Not yet. I'm Travis, and I know Miko from neurobiology classes. We study in the same department. We actually just talked for the first time earlier today, when we were both waiting for our keys. What are you two doing here? Just looking outside. Really depressing, isn't it? I'm starting to miss the sun already. What? You don't like snow? It's fun for a while, but I'd rather be on a beach now and catch some sun on my fur. The closest beach likely isn't that far from here, but the part about the sun might be more problematic. Anyway, I'd better be going. Let the rest of me after lunch. You know, digesting takes in some energy. Have a nice rest. I'll be in my room then in any case. You know where to look for me. Feel free to drop by. I nod and turn around, continuing to my room. Finally standing before the door to my room, I put a paw in my pocket to take out the key. But it's not there. I look at my paw inside the pocket, but it's empty. I check the other pocket. Only my phone is there, and of course I wouldn't put keys in the same pocket as my phone anyway. I feel cold sweat on my forehead. No. Things like that don't really happen. There's literally no way I could lose that key. I always put my keys in my right pocket and I wear trousers with deep enough pockets that nothing falls out. I press the handle and try to open the door, but it doesn't budge. I knew I locked it anyway. Okay, deep breaths. The key must have simply fallen out of my pocket somewhere along the way. Maybe in the cafeteria. I simply have to retrace my steps and look for it. Oh, hell. I turned back around and walked down the stairs, scanning the carpet for any unexpected shapes. Some students passed me along the way. I try my best not to look distressed. I don't want the others to look at me as if I'm some clumsy kid, but foremost, I'm scared of possible fines for losing a key. I'm just a student without any job. I can't really afford putting even more strain on my budget. Better not even consider it. I feel like I'm already on the verge of a panic attack. I might have wanted some adventures during this camp, but this is definitely not what I had in mind. Alright. I wish we could get an option to go see Lake. What if someone already found the key? That's entirely possible. If I found a key on the floor and I didn't know who the owner was, I would return it to the teacher. Coach Devon said to contact him if we need anything. Maybe I should go straight to him and ask him for advice. Let's go for Coach Devon. Okay. I'm having bad feelings about it from the start. I just feel that I won't find the key anywhere here. I don't just lose anything like that. Maybe the coach will have some advice. I know we bump into, hold up. Hold up. Let's look for the key. No, I don't want to bring anyone else into it before I check the corridors and cafeteria myself. I'll leave that for the last resort. Oh, Carvin! Hello again. I almost jumped back, startled. Why is everyone so set on scaring me today? Lake! Sorry, I didn't hear your steps. What are you up to? I hope that he won't notice the nervousness in my voice. Nothing, just coming back to my room. Jorgen said he's going outside, so I'm alone. Oh, if you want to, I can go visit you now. You wanted to show me some stuff, yes? I can feel the tips of my ears turning red from embarrassment. There's no use lying, though. The long run on dishonesty never pays. Actually, I've lost the key to my room, so I'm looking for it right now. So I'm afraid you can't visit my room right now, because neither can I. Oh! Lake gasps, surprised. I think it's the first time I see him lost for words. His open muzzle quickly closes and turns into a reassuring smile. I'm sure he'll find it in no time. This is not a big guest house after all. Were you anywhere else after the dinner? No, I went straight to my room, and I didn't notice I lost the key until I got there. So it must be somewhere between your room and the cafeteria then. Oh, maybe someone already found it and returned it to the reception. You should check there too. I definitely can sense that he's trying to cheer me up with his enthusiasm. He must be looking pretty down right now. Well, no wonder. I am feeling pretty down. A bit less now, thanks to this cute dork. I smile at Lake, extending my paw and petting his white-maned head. He closes his eyes and purrs quietly, his mouth curving into a content smile. Very cute dork. I withdraw my paw, but Lake keeps his eyes closed for a moment longer, letting out a pleasured sigh. Thank you, Lake. No problem at all. Come tell me when you find the key. I nod, agreeing, and we part ways, Lake continuing to his room, me heading to the cafeteria. Some more students pass me by on the way to the cafeteria, but when I arrive there, it's completely empty. Tables are still covered with checkered tablecloths, gleaming in the sunlight filtered through the windows. Looks like the sun came out from behind the clouds for a moment. Even though it's only a while after noon, it already is low on the horizon. We're above the Arctic Circle, after all. The eeriness of the empty cafeteria and Arctic sun makes it all seem like a scene from a film. It reminds me of staying late at my school together with Miko, walking through empty hallways, usually full of noise and bodies, entering empty classes that some careless teacher forgot to lock. Liminal space. The sound of the door closing behind me snaps me out of my daze. I walk up to a table I was eating lunch at, but I already knew anyway. The key is not here. I turn my head towards the window. The sun is just hiding behind the clouds again, and the snowfall still continues. Suddenly, I feel very alone. I come closer to the window and observe the falling snowflakes. Each of them is different and unique. When the temperature rises, they all melt together into one puddle. I wish I had someone with me right now. Back when I was in high school, I got super hardened to the idea of making a tulpa, a sort of an imaginary companion that you give a physical form. Interesting how this game mentions a tulpa and so does Echo. Huh. Just interesting. A companion is supposed to be sentient, autonomous, and the act of a creation is simply done by imagining them. Of course, I was skeptical about it, and I doubted that anyone has ever actually achieved that. I wanted to try anyway. Tulpa are very strange things. If you look up, like, some of the people's, like, fucking accounts of tulpas and such, it is really bizarre. It almost makes you think that imagining something like this makes it real on some level. I mean, like, not just to you, like it's out there, it's an idea. You have put something out there into the, I don't know, I guess the dream space or whatever it is, and it has taken on a life of its own. That's bizarre. So much we still don't understand about what the human mind is capable of. I've heard that there are some dangers associated with this. For example, it was not easy to get rid of a tulpa, and being a host of one could potentially be exhausting. Having a tulpa means that you can never be truly alone. Nothing came out of it, obviously, but thanks to all the practice that came with it, I am quite good with visualizing. Turning left, I imagine another person standing beside me. It's Jorgen. He's sitting on a chair and looking out the window through his thick glasses. He's really cute, especially with this sort of feminine snout. He doesn't seem very approachable, though. I'll find some way to get to know him, though. I'm sure of it. I do feel a bit less alone now, but I still don't have my key. This didn't bring me even one step closer to resolving my problems. Nothing I can do now is go to the reception and explain the situation. I turn around and leave the cafeteria, heading to the lobby. Carvin! Hey! Suddenly I hear a voice calling me. Turning right, I see Lake walking in my direction. Hey there! How did it go? Did you find your key? No, I didn't. I'm just going to the reception to ask if someone maybe found the key and returned it there. Oh. Lake is visibly disappointed, drooping his shoulders. Let's hope the key is there. I'll go with you, okay? Sure, I could use some company now. He smiles in response and starts walking with me. Together we continue down the corridor, Lake staying 2 steps ahead of me. That's not the best way to start a camp. On the flip side, it can only get better from here. I really hope you're right about that. I wasn't this stressed out even over high school finals. Man, I really feel like hitting the sauna as soon as I'm done with this. Oh, now we're talking. We need to check out where it is in this guest house. Meanwhile, we've reached the reception area. Lake enters the room first, and I walk in after him. We both walk up to the counter and I press the call bell twice. After a short while, the janitor emerges from the utility room. She's a wolf of an ambiguous age. Could have been 30 as well as 50. God it, my dog. Have a trigger do healed med? God it, my dog. I lost the key to my room. I went to look for it around the guest house, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Has anyone found it and returned it? The janitor smiles at me reassuringly, completely unfazed, and I start to suspect that I'm not the first one to lose the key to their room in this guest house. No, not yet, unfortunately. Did you leave the guest house after you got the key? No, I didn't. So it still has to be here somewhere in the guest house. I'll keep my eyes open. Let's not assume it's just gone. Your name and room number, please. Carvin, room number 17. The janitor opens some ledger, searching for something. Your room is a single one, so we don't have a second key for it. I'll call the office and get the spare key, so that you'll be able to access your room in the meantime. She takes an old flip phone out of her pocket and dials the number. Someone on the other side of the line picks it up quickly, and a muffled voice escapes from the small speaker. The janitor puts the phone to her ear and starts to explain the situation, and I switch my attention from her to Lake. He's standing next to me, playing with his phone. I'm really thankful that he's here with me now. We've only known each other for a month, but we already are quite close. Now that I think of it, my life here would be much more boring if I never met him. It's hard for me to imagine my life in the dormitory without his shenanigans. I really had time for him, though. Maybe I was a bad friend all that time. I will make it up to you, Lake. Blockhart? Heavy manner duel? Blocked. I switch my attention back to the janitor, sensing troubles. She speaks with an urgent tone. Too fast for me to understand her besides some single words. She ended the conversation with a simple "Hadet" and put down the phone with a sigh. Oop. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it right there. We got a little bit of new stuff with Jorgen today when he's imagining Jorgen sitting there. That was new. I haven't seen that before. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy this new playthrough of Jorgen's content. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell to the next video. I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!